Okay, well, it's 6:31, so we'll get started. There may be a few more joining. This is the Finance Committee Peer Group meeting on membership, planning, budgeting, branch documents, and structure. And if you want to go to the next slide for the agenda, we're making a little bit of a change in the agenda. The section on combining branches and branch dissolution by Sharon Siebert, who's our incoming co-president starting next fiscal year, is going to be the first agenda item after the poll questions because Sharon has a personal commitment. So, and then after that, we're going to cover membership in the hub.
Is someone speaking? I don't hear anything.
Can't you hear me?
You must have your speaker off.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, I can hear you.
You can? Huh.
But apparently that person can't.
Well, I just turned it up. Can you hear me now? Better?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So going through the agenda, then membership in the hub is going to be covered by Karen McMillan. Then Indrani is going to cover planning, budgeting, and year-end reporting. And we'll have questions and answers at the end. You can put your questions into the chat and we'll address those after the presentation is over. So Carrie, can you start the poll? We have some brief poll questions.
Oh, was there 2 pages to that?
There's 5 questions total. So
I only did 2 and then I said submit. I thought it would go on to the next page.
Okay. Well, if you already submitted, that's okay.
Yeah,
but
you have to scroll down to see all the questions.
Well, I didn't scroll. I just saw the blue submit and clicked it thinking I was going to go on to the next page.
okay. We'll give it a few more minutes if people are still trying to answer all the questions. Has everybody finished or do you need more time for the poll questions?
Oh, sorry. I had to do something. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I said submit before getting.
Yeah.
Just did one and that's it. So.
Well, we have an idea of number of members in the branches. From the first question, it looks like 33% have over 100 members, so that's good. And 22% have 22% have, sorry, I can't see the answer, 76 to 100. And so altogether, it's like almost every branch has over 50. I'll share results. Do I need to do that?
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Can you make it slightly larger? My old eyes are.
Let me see if I can.
I have to really work to see it. Plus, it's a little bit faint.
Can you see that now?
Well, I can see it, but it certainly isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing behind it is really sharp, but this thing is kind of faint.
Yeah, I think for some reason the pen is very light. Going on to the second question.
If you click the square at the top,
Oh, I
Mhm.
can make
You
it
know,
bigger.
the X in the corner, if you click the square next to the
Yeah,
X,
it
it
is
makes it
bigger.
full
It's still,
page.
yeah, it is bigger, but it's still kind of faint printing actually, but
Yeah, I think that's just the print on the website. But
I
the
went
second
to the
question,
large version and the print is bigger that way too.
it's bigger, yes.
yeah. So the second question, status of your branch membership. Most are staying about the same, but fewer are declining than growing. So that's also good. Most of the branches, 80%, have a formal budgeting process.
I didn't answer all the questions. I didn't see, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm having, I'm arranging a funeral at the same time while I'm doing this. Sorry. So was there more questions?
There were 5 altogether. We're just
Oh,
reviewing the answers. We're on
I only saw one.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't realize there was more than one. So the branches most are maintaining a permanent file for at least 7 years. 21% aren't, and 16% aren't sure.
And I take it that means a paper file?
Or it could be electronic files, this that you have access to all the documents.
Yeah.
And only a few branches have any plans to dissolve or combine. So I'll stop sharing the survey. And in terms of, how do I get back? Carrie, can you get back to the slide presentation, or do I just have to close this? Yeah, there we go. So in terms of the agenda, the last question has to do with dissolving or combining branches. And Sharon Siebert, if you join late, is going to cover that topic. Sharon, are you there?
I'm here, and I'd appreciate it if I could share my screen.
Do you want to just go quickly through these first 2 slides, and then you can
Well,
share?
I can do that, or I have the California website up, the AAUW California website, to show people exactly where to go.
Okay, yeah, I mentioned that on this slide, where to go for that.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to, first of all, thank you all for doing this really important work, because we cannot run our branches without a treasurer or a financial officer. And Renee stepped up to join the board last year because we are a corporation, AAUW California, and we were in need of a CFO. So we really appreciate Renee doing that. So I'd like to also give you a little ad for attending the annual event, which is on Saturday, April the 18th. We're encouraging branches to have watch parties if you have the ability to have some people at your home to either watch on a smart television or on several laptops or something, because we're going to be talking, my co-president-elect Sigrid Morans and I, about coming attractions. And we have a lot that we are planning to do in our upcoming administration that's going to be very exciting. So with that, I would like to be able to, if whoever is handling this can let me share my screen, that would be great.
Would you mind attempting to share and let me know what you see?
Yeah, let me see if I can do that.
Should be
Share.
on the bottom of the.
I'm sending my request for this meeting.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So I can allow that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to stop sharing, Renee.
It would be me.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then, all right. So I'm going to share. And, oh, goodness. Let me make sure that I have the right thing up. Let me minimize. Okay, there we go. All right, let me go back to sharing. Okay,
3 minutes?
I don't know what 3 minutes is.
I don't
I
know.
hope you're not timing your dinner.
No.
Anyway, so as you all know, this is the state website, and you do know that the only mission AAUW California has is to support the branches. So this is the home page, and if you go to branch tools, it will bring you to all these squares where you will have more information than any one officer needs. But
That's true.
a lot of the information here is so valuable, and many of the questions that we get at AAUW California can be answered by looking at one of these blocks, such as branch finance, which you all know. So I'm going to go to branch and IBC governance. And this is where the branch merger and disbandment tools are that Sandy Gabe, our immediate past president, our current president, Sherman Goring, and I put together with the help of National. So these are documents about a step-by-step guide to how to hopefully not disband your branch, but merge it with another branch. National does not use the term merger. So if there are two branches that are going to combine, let's say, then if you look at everything under merger and disbandment, it gives you all the information. Here's little guides that show you how to do it. This is all the words that talk about it. All the documents need to be sent to AAUW California. We will forward them to National for you if your branch is disbanding, because we need to have a way to keep track of you. We currently have 105 branches in California. There's some states that only have 3 branches. I mean, we're running a corporation and they're running a book group, basically, or a lunch bunch. So we need to have a way to track and pay attention to everything. The things that I really want to point out to you are there's a special form that's a affiliate disbandment form that National requires. And in addition, we recommend strongly, if your branch does, heaven forbid, have to disband, that you ask National to complete your final IRS 990. We had a horrible situation a couple of years ago where the branch treasurer said she was going to do it. The branch disbanded. The treasurer died before she could do that. And now IRS is coming back to the people who were involved and saying there's a fine and so forth and so on. We don't want that to happen. So if you, heaven forbid, disband, please put on your disbandment paperwork that you want National to file the final 990. But let me say that in order for branches to merge or combine, one branch needs to disband. And sometimes if your branch is a 501c3 and the other branch is a 501c4, you're most likely going to want to stay with the 501c3 branch and disband the 501c4, because the C3 gives you tax deductibility, which I'm sure Renee and her team have explained to you all. The other thing that we at the state have asked that branches that are going to disband or merge is, especially if branches are going to merge, that we ask you to have a conversation, the board, with the board of the branch you're hoping to move into that might be a more vibrant branch. And then we ask that you put together something called an MOU. Those of you who have been involved with Tech Trek already know what an MOU is, a memorandum of understanding. And we ask you to do that. In it, you explain that you're asking National to file your final 990. You're asking, and see, here are all the forms that you need. Here's an MOU, there's a template for it. So there are templates on this branch disbandment process form that you can link onto. And in the MOU, you could say, these people are going to move into branch XYZ from our branch, which is branch ABC. National will move your branch members for you, so you don't have to do it individually. Even if you have branch members that are going to multiple different branches, if you complete that information, when you're sending in the forms to us at AAUW California, you send in the MOU with that information. When we're forwarding everything to National, that all gets sent to them and they will do it, so it's painless for you to do. If two branches decide to merge and you need a name change, for instance, there were two branches in the Silicon Valley that decided, they both disbanded and decided to rename themselves Silicon Valley Branch. So in here, in this list of forms, there is a name change request form. Even if one branch disbands and moves into branch XYZ, the state does not want you to have a branch name with 7 different cities in the name. 3 cities is about all we really want to have, like Danville, Alamo, Walnut Creek. If you're going to have 1 million cities, you might want to find a different designation. My branch covers all of Monterey County. We were formerly known as the Monterey Peninsula Branch. So we now are known as the Monterey County Branch because we cover probably 10 towns in our membership. So with regard to the whole process, the first thing that we recommend is that you send a letter to every dues paying and lifetime and honorary life member via snail mail from your branch. Many branch members will not open an email. Many people don't respond to emails. And by sending one in a snail mail addressed to that member, it's most likely that they'll open it. And we suggest you in the letter explain, we're not going to be able to cover our schools for Tech Track. We can't cover our local scholarships. Whatever the things are that are important to you that will go away if your branch disbands. And that might cause some people in your branch to say, wait a minute, as one branch did several years ago, we're almost 100 years old. We can't disband. We have to have people step up. And 3 people stepped up in their branch to take over the leadership. You know, when you're going to the branch tools section of the state website, if I go back to that whole section on the branch tools section, first of all, there are all kinds of information about leadership resources, membership resources, and people to reach out to. One of the things that members are not even aware of necessarily is who to call or who to reach out to. But you can always send an email to askusfirst@aauwcalifornia.org, and our office staff will help figure out who would be the best to respond to you. Branches that are failing or having problems can sometimes be resurrected by speaking to somebody on the state board. I've been involved with branch support for well over a decade and have been able to help branches revive by thinking outside the box. And just a little teaser for what's coming up for AAUW California when Sigrid and I become your co-presidents. We're working with a marketing company to help raise awareness of AAUW California better throughout the state. We're tired of being one of the best kept secrets. So all of the peer group meetings are on here. And if you want to go back to this meeting after it shows up on the website in about 3 days after the time of this meeting, you can just click on here and go down to the Finance Committee, and you can get onto any of the peer group meetings and videos to help you. We have tried to make this branch tools section so intuitive that you have no problems finding what you need. But don't forget, feel free to reach out to Ask Us First if that's a question. So are there any questions about where to find the disbandment and merger information?
I think, Mark, were there a few questions in the chat regarding mergers and disbandment that Sharon might be able to answer?
No, actually, there was just one, I think, which she
Okay.
answered. It was about how to change the branch name and if we wanted to add additional city to the name. But I think
Okay, so in this form, if you go to the merger and disbandment paperwork, step-by-step guide, and you scroll down to where you are here, as you can see, here's the name request change form. And you just click on that. It's a national form, and you do fill out the paperwork for the rationale of why you're changing the name. That paperwork should also be sent to AAUW California, because we don't want to have, as I said, 6 different cities in the name. That becomes a little bit more complex.
Mhm.
So now we have a Silicon Valley branch. We have a Beach Cities branch. So there are branches that cover, more cities than one. Palm Springs had more members from Coachella Valley. So last year or 2 years ago, they changed their name to Coachella Valley, which is more indicative of where they are. And the reason for sending all of this paperwork to AAUW California, first of all, we have a fabulous office manager who organizes all the documents and keeps records of all of them. And second of all, if there's any change that we're uncomfortable with, or that is overlapping with some other branch name, we can reach out to the people who have signed the form and try and figure out how to best accommodate your wishes. So there is a name change request for the IRS also, because if the name changes, but you're keeping your same EIN number, your tax identification number, you're going to have to reach out to the IRS for that. Is everybody else understanding it? Are there any other questions? I mean, I think this is beyond self-explanatory. It's all in words. It's all in little symbols. And, Sandy Gabe is a guru of technology. She put this all together. And we do make sure that we are concurring with national. But again, we want you all to know that we have to change everything in the state records. And this is a lot of what we have to do, which is a behind the scenes communications scenario. So that's another reason for us to get the paperwork. And then if it's missing something, if it's not clear, then we make sure that we get back to the people who have signed the paperwork. But again, please, if your branch is having trouble, reach out to us first before you go, nah, I'm done. Okay, so let's see. Sharon Holly, you have a question.
Yeah, I do. I was wondering, I don't know what the status is with our branch. We're having trouble filling officer positions. So I'm just thinking, trying to think ahead of what I can tell our board. If they decide to disband, or if they were, do they fill out all those other forms or just the disbandment form?
You fill out all the forms that are applicable. However, if your branch is having trouble finding leadership, have you reached out to anybody at branch support at the state level to talk about what you might be able to do?
Yeah, I don't
What
know.
branch are you from, Sharon?
The Oakdale Escalon Riverbank.
Okay, so please have somebody in your branch reach out to branch support and see what you can do, see what we can do and help you. rather than throwing in the towel initially. That's why we are here.
Yeah.
Okay, and so let's see, Ferry, is that how your name is pronounced?
No, it's Marie, like Marie.
Marie, okay. So what is your question? Sharon, did I
My
answer
que-
your question? And
I think partly. I think I was going to ask if whose responsibility was to reach out to the state. Is it the president or just anybody in the leadership
anybody can, any
or
member
the
can,
treasurer?
any member can reach out. It can be
Okay.
the president, the membership person, the treasurer, or
Right.
or just a member. Because
All right.
you're all, AAUW says every person, every member has a vote.
Thank
So
you.
everybody, please make sure you're more than welcome. So here are all the forms. But if you have a question, reach out to branch support. Branch support will be able to help you figure out what to do. Sharon, your
I
hand
have a
is,
question, but I don't see the little hand option for me.
yeah, okay. Hi, Darby. Sharon, your hand is
Hi.
still up, by the way.
Like, oh, it's just out of curiosity. You said you have 105 branches. How
Mhm.
many branches were there, say, 5 years ago?
I joined the state board 7 years ago, and there were 120 branches.
So it's not a huge decrease.
No, it's
No.
not. And several branches have merged with other branches. When you have 15 to 50 members, those are not necessarily big enough branches. And so sometimes by having two branches join, I know your branch had absorbed Watsonville a number of years ago.
Right.
It was, it creates more synergy possibly. So 105, but we do have two branches that I believe are going to fold at the end of this fiscal year. So we'll be down to 103. But when you consider that Wyoming has 3, Maine has 3, Idaho has about 7 or 8, that's what I said. We're, AIUW California is a public benefit corporation. So we are a 501c4. But don't forget, there are some coming attractions. I've told some people, they already know we're planning an in-person conference in April 2027 rather than a virtual event. So you all need to, when you're working on your budgeting, consider that if you're going to reimburse your officers who are coming to the event. Sigrid and I are actually attending at the end of September a multi-state event in Pennsylvania. It's the Mid-Atlantic Regional Event. They had one in Charlottesville, Virginia last fall, and this fall they're having one in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The Mid-Atlantic states, there's about between 10 and 13 states that are all invited to that. So we'll be experiencing that kind of an in-person event also, and maybe we'll think about doing something like that too. Any other questions?
There's one question from Marianne about where will the 2027 conference be? I don't think we have
That
a
hasn't been
location
decided yet.
Yeah.
No. But traditionally, more people have come from Northern California if we've had an in-person conference than from Southern California. So we will be looking at, the cost of venues and all kinds of things with that regard. And hopefully we won't be able to announce that, during the annual event, but we will be announcing the fact that we will not have a virtual annual event next year. Since we're a corporation, we must hold an annual meeting, and the annual meeting will be combined with the in-person conference. So stay tuned. Budget for that for your officers if you traditionally do that, and we'll look forward to meeting all of you in person.
The April 18th is what time of day and what day of week is it?
April 18th for the current annual event is a Saturday, Darby.
Okay.
And it starts at, I believe, 9:30 in the morning. if I
Okay.
remember correctly. And it's pretty much half a day. There will be some breakout rooms after the event for people who want to stay and have conversations. But the crux of the meeting will be, we have several interesting pieces of information and exciting videos that we will be having, and something live actually from National. So
Okay.
it's going to be a very exciting event. It's a little bit different than we've done in the past, but I highly recommend that you all tune in.
Okay, thank you.
So registration isn't open just yet, I don't believe. So it will be coming out soon. I hope you're all paying attention to your B2B, which comes to all officers listed in the branch officer report. And the opening for the registration will be, if it's not open yet, it should be open soon. I don't remember. I'm not on the communications committee. I'm just doing too many other things. Any other questions before I go? And I do appreciate, Renee, thank you for letting me join you first, because I have a personal commitment that just came up this evening.
Okay, thank you, Sharon. We'll let you go.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye now.
Bye-bye, thank you.
So Carrie, if you could go back to the slides then. And I believe Carol will be presenting on membership dues.
Perfect.
And
Can you let me know if you can see the presentation?
Yes?
yeah, yes.
Perfect.
Perfect. So good evening, everyone. Very timely. Today, you should have received Membership Matters newsletter from National, which covers some of the same information that I'm going to talk about regarding membership. As you know, a few years ago, AEUW switched from having everyone's membership expire on the same date to the membership expires a year after you join. So people are joining and expiring throughout the year. And so that's some changes of things going on. But some things that stayed the same. We just want to be sure that you're all current with how it works. So national dues do go up by another $2 on the 1st of April, which is just next week. Student dues stay the same at $18.81, and lifetime dues are 20 times the current national dues, annual national dues, and so they go to $1,520. For the question that many people ask is, national dues are fully tax deductible, and for your branches, if the branch is a 501c3, the branch dues are also tax deductible. The state dues are $30. That started last year on July the 1st, and state dues are not tax deductible. So that's kind of the basics, and you can go to the next slide. So if your branch dues are changing, you need to notify National before April 1st so that they can incorporate your branch dues into the membership hub, and that they'll be collecting the correct branch dues that then get to return to you. So remember that connect@aeuw.org is the handy way to get in touch. And then Cooper@aeuw.org is Angela Cooper's address as well. So if you are changing your branch dues, you need to get on that notification as quick as you can. Next slide.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so if the system has been that you pay the dues when you join, and then your dues are due again on your date that you joined, how are you to switch to April 1st dues being, April 1st being the due date? How can you transition that?
No, you're not transitioning any individual members, and I'll actually show you a roster towards the end of the presentation. So if you
Okay.
happen to join in October, you're always going to renew in October. If
Okay.
you okay.
Okay.
So it's just that sort of establish April the 1st is what I think they're establishing as the date that, for example, the national dues are going up as of April the 1st. So that it's kind of the date that things change over. Does that help?
Okay, so I just want to clarify. The system that we've had in place then is that the individual due will be due on their joining date. Is that
correct?
What you're saying? And so you're talking about April 1st being the date for the corporate or the national dues of the branch being due on April?
So anybody whose renewal date is after April 1st is going to pay $76 national dues. If they renew in the next 3 days, they would renew it at $74 because it's going up by $2. Okay. Great. All right. Now we can go on. So many of you may have members that are dual members. I certainly am a dual member. I moved to California from New York a number of years ago, and I still maintain my membership in my branch back in New York. So if as a dual member, I have to do all of my renewal myself on the hub, and I do that very easily, add my other state, add my other branch. If people don't want to do that, they can write checks to the dual branch and just just take care of California and their California branch. So just if you have some dual members, I know we have a few in my branch that if they renew on the hub, then we are notified later of their branch dues for our branch. If you have paid life members, so paid life members are life members that paid the whatever the amount was for life membership however long ago, they do still owe state and branch dues. However, if there are honorary life members, and those are members that have 50 years of continuous membership, then they don't pay national dues or state dues, and the branch dues are really your branch decision. And if you have any members that have continuous membership since 1976 or earlier, you can request a nice certificate for them, honoring them as an honorary life member. And again, you get that at the Ever Popular Connect at auw.org. Okay, next slide. Now, one of the things that
before you get onto this incentive thing, I have a question. Are there invoices now that come to individuals to tell them their dues are up for renewal?
No.
If you
Yes.
have you can either opt in or opt out to have national send reminders, and I'll talk about the reminders in a little bit.
Okay.
So
because I don't think we have that.
Many branches have the email reminders. Sometimes that doesn't do it, so you may want to pay attention to who's renewed and follow up on the people that haven't. And we'll go over a little schedule of they get 4 reminders essentially every member according to when their membership is expiring. Okay, but let's talk about Shape the Future. So Shape the Future is an opportunity for new members who join at an event or a meeting. They can pay just 50% of the national dues. And so right now, if anybody joins in the next 4 days that at an event, then you could use the coupon code SHAPE STFFY 26. So that's Shape the Future fiscal year 26. That would go through the 31st of March. On April the 1st, then it would become STFFY 27, because that's, again, April the 1st is kind of when things are going to go into gear for the new year. Also remember that for every 2 new members that join through Shape the Future, your branch earns a free national membership. And that's up to 3 memberships can be earned. And just to give you an example, this I actually took this out of the report last year just to show here's a few branches, and one had gotten 5 new members, so they earned 2 free memberships. The others had enough that they earned the maximum of 3 free memberships. And you use those to either give somebody a free membership, or you can renew somebody, and that way you have maybe extra money for someone that couldn't afford membership. To find out more about this, you go onto the national website, and I just go in the search box and put in Shape the Future, and that will bring you to a whole set of instructions and a thing here that says a status report and a redemption form. And the information for this year's earned memberships will be available in May. And if you do have free memberships, they have to be used before October 31st. So it's a very nice incentive for people. I know we certainly in our branch many times will have an interesting program. We're quite lucky. We have a local newspaper that always puts an article about our programs. So we have people that come and they're like, wow, this is a pretty good organization. I think I'd like to join. If they join that day, they get the price break on their membership. So do keep this in mind.
Is this slide available on your website?
You will have all these slides on the as Sharon was just showing us on the webinar section of the Branch Tools website.
Okay, because I had a hard time finding that coupon code. It was not readily available on the federal website or anything.
Well, and as I said, just today, we all got this month's version of Membership Matters from National. That gives you the coupon codes as well. So look in your mailbox today. Very, very nice timing of National to send it today. Okay, next slide. Okay, for student members. So if you have an AUW affiliate college or university, the national membership is free and state dues are $10. So there are quite a number of colleges in California that are AUW affiliates. I'm sure that if you have one, you're probably pretty closely connected to them. And if there are student members, that's a very nice deal. And now, of course, things like the Start Smart wage negotiation program and things are available online for members. So they have all of that available to them free. If they are not at an affiliate university, the national dues are still $18.81 and the state dues are $10. For again, the student associates of the affiliates, there's your coupon codes. And again, these are through this year, or through the 31st this year, and then it will go to CU student FY27 and etc. So I just see somebody popped up. Where do you find the list of affiliate universities? And I think I found that on the national website. I don't know, maybe someone else could answer that question, but I did look this up last year, and I think I found it on the national website. Okay, next question. So the renewals. So four reminders are sent to every member if your branch again has authorized National to send the reminders to send people to the hub. And so they get their first reminder 1 month prior to their expiration date. Then they get a reminder that the month of their expiration date, then the next month afterwards, and then the 4th month. So there's a 3-month grace period. If a person's membership expires, they're in what's called the grace period for another 3 months. And you can see the status of your members by looking on the roster And I think the next slide, we go to that. Oh, okay. Go on to the next slide and then we'll come back to this one. There we go. So here is this. I know this is kind of small, but this is an actual branch roster and it shows the status. So one of the people on this list is an honorary lifetime member. You can see the first one, the first circle there. And it says that this person is a current member and her start date it's shown as 2021, but that's actually incorrect because she's been a member since back in the 70s. But as you see here, her expiration date is not until 2099. Probably, we may lose her before that because she'd be pretty old, but that is just the way that they indicate that this is somebody whose membership is not going to expire. You just have to be sure that the address is correct, and and also if once they do become deceased, that you let National know. The next one down you can see is somebody who joined on the in February of 2025, and therefore their membership expired in February of 2026. And so they are in the grace period because they were past February of 2026. And so they are not currently a member, but they're not being taken off the list because we give them a couple more months of grace. And this is where the membership vice president or officer for the branch will follow up. And then there's always certainly the possibility that somebody can react to that first reminder notice and they go ahead and renew. And you can see the next group that's circled. Here's somebody that it says their status is future because they joined in 2026 and their membership now is expiring in 2027, but we haven't gotten to the end of March of 2026 yet. So they renewed sometime earlier. And so therefore they're being shown as that their status is that they're registered a little bit into the future. So I hope that kind of helps to see how the reminders work and how the status works. Okay, now you can go back to the slide before. So obviously one of the things is hopefully as we get more into the electronic version here, and the hub seems to be working much better than it was when it was initially launched, is that people will renew themselves on the hub. And then of course you get a notice saying, these people renewed, make sure you've, updated them on your own list. But the membership managers or officers in the branch can also renew members on the hub. And if people want to make donations to the Greatest Needs Fund, they can do that themselves on the hub, and also the branch membership officers can. So you go to the renewals and donations, you can click on the pencil icon and then click the box for each member being renewed. And then the donations, you can add those a variable amount. And so once the selections are complete, download and review it. If it's correct, click Pay Now. If it's not correct, don't process it. Just go ahead and notify Connect, and they can take care of it. I did see a question popped up in the chat. If people do renew late, it doesn't change their renewal date. They're still going forward on the original renewal date. You just go ahead and just remind them to get it in. Okay, next slide. So if you want if any of your members wish to contribute to any of the other national funds, they should do that. They can do it through their branch AUW fund share, or that by mailing a check directly to National. So that, as you know, there are a number of other funds right now. They're particularly promoting this Saving Public Education, and I think one other that are key needs, given kind of our current environment. So if you if people are interested in the other funds, they could do that through their AUW fund share or by mailing a check directly. And I think that's it. Is there one more? Nope, that's it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol.
Well, you didn't get to the invoice part, did you? Opting in and all that?
And I said you notify National if you want them to send reminders or not.
Who in National?
Connect@auw.org.
Oh, really? We don't always get responses from them.
Well, if you, I understand that if you send to connect@auw.org, a couple of different people monitor that mailbox, but of course the senior person in charge of membership and probably a number of other things is Angela Cooper. So her address is coopera@auw.org. Also, do remember one of the really helpful things is that twice a week there is basically a live chat called Office Hours. They're on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can sign up for one of those. Many times, if you send in a question with that, you get an answer without even attending the chat. But it's interesting. You will be joined with people from other parts of the country, and so that's pretty helpful. Tuesdays and Thursdays, and for us, they're in the middle of the day. One is at 12 and one is at 12:30, I think. So always helpful.
Hey, Carol, there is one more question in the chat.
Oh, one more question. Okay.
Yeah, it says if the member shows expired and then they renew, do they change their membership date?
No, sorry, I thought I answered that. No, their renewal date stays the same. If they were late in renewing, unless a long time goes by, a couple of years or something, then they maybe start over. But
and what again is this? How you connect to this Tuesday, Thursday thing?
It's called Office Hours, and you can register on the national website.
And it's any particular person's office hours? Anyone's? So
it's so here I'll read you. This is from Membership Matters. It's always in Membership Matters at the end. Live customer support. Join us for office hours Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or Thursdays, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can always reach us at connect@auw.org. So look in your Membership Matters, and at the very bottom, very end of it, it will have a place that you can register for either of those dates. And they pretty much happen every week, unless nobody signs up. Then they'll notify you. We're not doing it because nobody's coming.
Okay,
I found them to be very helpful. So
good to know.
do you know if there, can I ask one more question? On the hub, is there any kind of archives of, for instance, that report that gets sent out that tells you which dues are paid monthly per branch?
No.
And there's no archive to go back and look at those?
You mean the individual listings?
I guess it comes out, I think, monthly, and it lists every single branch and how many, like people that re-registered online. It gives their names, but
I would imagine that's the fact of that happening is registered in the roster. Because if you look on the roster, that is live time. If somebody renews tonight and you go on the roster tomorrow, it'll show them as renewed today. So,
yeah, but I think it also supports the money that goes into your account, right?
Yes.
It's sort of like a deposit slip in effect, in detail.
Yes, I don't know the answer to that. That'd be a good question for the office hours. I know our membership in finance people, they keep those as a record until they have reconciled everybody that thinks they've renewed has been renewed.
Yeah, I don't think I get them every month. But anyway,
well, if people don't join every month, you wouldn't.
But yet there are deposits. Yet deposits show up in the account, like $16 or $32 or something. So it's
all right. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to mention that about a month ago, there was a request from National specifically about changes in state dues, if you wanted to have that recorded, or if you wanted to okay that those invoices go out. But that was about a month ago.
You mean to your specific branch?
It went out, it was a general one. I think it came out from Connect or from Angela.
Right, but so as I said, you can decide.
I let them know my branch was there and I said yes, I wanted that to
Yeah.
happen. All the
Okay.
branches were listed and you had a yes or no option.
Great.
Yeah.
Great,
So I
that's
just
right.
wanted to let DK Rem know
Okay,
that
my name is
something came
Darby.
out already, and
Yeah.
that she might want to go back if she wants to check her emails and see if she can find that one. But it was probably a month ago.
Well, I think the thing to do would be, Darcy, if you, I don't know if your branch does have national send renewals, if you want them to, just go ahead and write and say, just to confirm, we want you to send our renewal notices. And if not, please don't send our renewal notice. Just doesn't ever hurt to confirm. So
I'm thinking we don't have that because I personally don't ever get it. But
well, anyway, that good thing to check for sure. All right, I will turn it over now.
And then Drawny is going to cover planning, budgeting, and year-end reporting.
Next slide. Good evening, everybody. I'm Indrani Chatterjee. I will talk about planning and budgeting. Budgeting is very important for any small, medium, or big size branches. Before preparing a budget for fiscal year 26-27, conduct a thorough review of branches' financial position. Still, you are in 25-26 fiscal year, and it is in March. That means this is a good time to think what you will do next year and how you will prepare your budget for next year. And then past performance to ensure the budget aligns with mission and resource allocation. Resource allocation is very important for the branch. Review 2 years revenue and expenses, which is the current fiscal year. You are still on 25-26, and previous, which will be 24 and 24-25 fiscal year. And simplify strategic goals. That is also important. Ensure the budget aligns with the branch's strategic plan and program goals. Next slide. Determine timeline. Set a target date for board approval. Allow sufficient time for each step, including review and discussion. Discussion is very, very important. Agree on budget approach. Discuss and agree on the budget approach, including the level of detail, assumptions, and how much uncertainty can be included. Forecast future income and expenses. Estimate future income based on current fundraising and revenue activities, as well as potential new activities. It depends on the branch and the location they are covering. Identify variable expenses. Consider variable expenses that may fluctuate throughout the year and plan accordingly. Next slide, please. Set fundraising target. Establish clear, achievable fundraising targets that align with AUW mission and branches project needs. All this planning, once you have done, then only start the drafting your budget. Develop a draft budget and review. Determine the cost required to achieve program goals, organizational objectives, such as increase membership. I think all branches are going through this membership issues. Project income based on current fundraising and revenue activities, as well as potential new activities. Review the draft budget. Verify that draft budget meets program and organizational goals, and review all assumptions. Next slide. Make adjustment. Always, I'm sure every branch goes through some adjustment process with their budget when they draft the budget. Make adjustment to the budget based on goals, capacity, and the need to match income and expenses. Present the budget to board. Present the draft budget to board for review and feedback. Always keep some time in between feedback and finalization of your budget. Obtain board approval and present the final budget to the board for approval. Next slide has a sample budget example. This is a very self-explanatory, and this slide will be available after today in the finance peer group meeting. If anybody wants to see this in detail level, they can go and check it out over there. Next slide. Year-end reporting. And I know we all will be working on year-end reporting in June. Year-end financial closing is the process of finalizing branches' financial statements for the current fiscal year, ensuring accuracy and compliance, and preparing for the next year's financial planning. And why it is important? Accuracy and compliance. Ensure the accuracy of financial reporting and compliance with the accounting standard and regulations. And financial health provides a clear picture of the branch's financial performance, position, allowing for better decision making. Next slide. Once everything will be done, then tax reporting facilitates accurate tax reporting and compliance with tax obligation. What are the tax reporting we do? One for IRS, Form 990 or 990EZ or 990N. California State, Form 199 or 199N if revenue is 50,000 or less. Then RRF1, CTTR1, and CTNRP2, which is gambling or raffle. That is, raffle falls under gambling status. That is the report you have to file. Future planning provides a solid foundation for future financial planning and budgeting. Next slide. Okay, this is the sample for the budget, current year budget and current year actual budget, and how over or under that happened. And next slide. This is the balance sheet. Another one was the statement of operation, which we call profit loss statement. And this is the balance sheet. The same way, year one beginning, year one end, and change. These are the sample, and branch will do based on their whatever their account needed. And that's about it. For another next slide, no. That's about it for budgeting and planning. And now Renee will take over.
Before we move on, Samarth, I think there was one question about the budgeting.
There is, yes. It says what program was used for the proposed budget?
Was that Excel used or what? Another program?
most of the branches, I found out they usually use Excel, but our recommendation is use QuickBook. It is Quicken is also some branches are using for the better control. QuickBook is good. QuickBook will be better than Quicken. Excel also can be used, but Excel is very flexible. Not that control is not that good unless you protect the Excel file. The protection happens in different level. It depends on the branch's finance officer, how proficiently they can use the Excel or QuickBook. Most of the time, I have noticed the branches use Excel worksheet. But recommendation, if you want to get out of Excel, please use Quick.
Okay, thank you, Indrani. So this next section has to do with how to find missing documentations, either from the IRS, from the Franchise Tax Board, or the State of California, Secretary of State's office. These reference sites will all be available, and you can go to the links if you need any of this information. And usually this issue comes up. I've had questions from some of the treasurers, like one wanted to open a bank account, but they needed to show that they were a nonprofit organization. So you would need to have the letter from the state certifying that you are a nonprofit. And there could be other reasons why you need any of these documents. So these are the basic websites where you would start, from the IRS or the Franchise Tax Board or the Department of Justice, which is for the state of California. And go to the next slide, please. So if you were looking for any of these, like a copy of your 990s that were filed previously, the revocation of an exemption or a determination letter that you are a 501c3 or 501c4, you would go to this website, the IRS one. And then go to the next slide, please. So when you get to the website, this is what you're going to see. They have a search tool, and you search either that you're looking for your 990 or the publication 78, the revocation of exemption, or the determination letter. I tried it for AAUW National just to see what I was able to find. And I was able to see copies of the 990s that had been filed for it looked like about the past 10 years. But I did not find the determination letter that AAUW National is a 501c4. So I don't know if it was formed a long time ago, if there's some limit to how long it's kept on the website. But this is where you would go to look for whatever you're trying to find. So again, this is a search feature on this slide. You can search by your employer identification number, if you know that, and you put in the city and the state to try to find your organization. Go to the next slide. Now, the branch entity number would be from the state of California. And again, you go to the Franchise Tax Board website, that's here. And if you're looking for the certification, you would find it on this page, or they have an email or phone number if you're not able to find it using the search feature. And again, I was able to find it. You can use either the ID number or the name, and I was able to find it with the name. So if one doesn't work, try the other one. And that's for the state of California. The next one is to find out from the state of California Department of Charities, which keeps a database of all nonprofits that are recognized in California. That would be the website here for that. And again, you have to put in some of the search criteria to find it. I'm going to the next slide. I think there's an example of what you see when you go to this website. And interestingly enough, when I searched for AAUW California, it brought up one of the branches. So I don't know, I guess you have to keep trying to fine tune it to have an exact match. But again, these are all the search features that you would use. And the slides are just showing the different screenshots of what you look at. When it does find a match, then it pulls up this information. So it's all kind of detailed, but, if you do have reason to find out any of these records, then it's very useful information as to how to search for it. If your branch has been suspended for some reason, you didn't file paperwork or tax returns, there's a phone number here where you can contact the Department of Justice. And there is a webinar too to help you to restore your charitable status. On the next slide, I think there's a number of other webinars that may be useful about different topics. And these are all on the website for the state of California. And I think that covers everything about searching for documentation. Any questions about that or anything else?
So Renee, I did look up how to find this colleges and universities.
Okay, good.
So essentially, again, it's on the national website under membership, and then how to become a member, and go down a little bit more and it says student member. And so student member, then it says view college or university directory. And that brings up a little search box. And if you put in California, that gives you a list of all the colleges in California. And it looks to be, I didn't go through and count them because there's 4 or 5 pages of them. So I'd say it looks like probably about 40 colleges or universities in California that are currently affiliate universities or colleges. So good to know for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Carol, there's one question in the chat about the dues.
Yes, I read this one and I'd be interested to hear. So the question is, under the old system, everybody's membership expired at the same time. And so a lot of branches would use anything that was renewed early, they would count as prepaid dues and then record them to the following year's income. I think now that that everybody's kind of expiring at different times, I hear that more people are just using cash basis. So when the dues come in, they're recorded as income, and eventually we'll have a good comparison with prior years. But if any other treasurers have a response to that, or Renee or Indrani, any of you have a thought about that? It just seems that the amount of accounting to do prepaid when it's now going to be coming in throughout the year is just more complicated.
Right. Well, at the California level, we have reviewed financials, and the CPA did require that we recognize it as deferred dues if it's for paid prior to the period it's for. But on a practical basis at a branch level, probably using the cash basis is easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
We've looked at our branch. We have about a third that we know now just have not quite a half that renew on June on June 30th or July 1st, and then the others are spread out through the out the year. So, sorry,
Right.
Indrani.
I use cash for my branch because I'm my treasurer. What I do, our members are only, we have 52 paid members. So amount is not high, and that's why I do the cash basis. If the amount is a little bit higher than what we have, then I will go as an accrual basis. That's why I use cash basis, not the accrual basis. Same with the balance sheet also. I do.
Anything else? Well, thank you all for joining. I know it's a lot of material to go over, but we will have all these slides on the website as well as the recording. So thank you again, and
Thank you.
hopefully we'll see you at the annual meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye.